Hey YouTube, welcome back to another one. I hope you guys are all doing well. Today is this is a special video because it's my 100th my 100th. I don't know if I'm even saying that right, but my 100th video, and it's been quite a journey these last 2 years. Um, yeah, almost 2 years since I started this channel, and yeah, 100 videos, and I'm very very excited, and quite a milestone, um, and looking forward to uploading as many more, um, and yeah, I'm pretty. I had a blast, and just receiving it's still a very relatively small channel, but like just getting like the support and the comments from some of you guys have still been amazing. And here I needed that. It feels great that even though it's a super super small channel, like my voice is still being heard, that you guys still even give a shit. um, all my subscribers and all the positive comments, and the back and forth and the feedback that I've had. Thank you all. This is a special thank you to you all. Um, I couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you so much. And hearing those comments, hearing your support, motivates me to make more and more content and make it even better. So thank you all. It means a lot to me. So today's video is something a little bit different, but it's very important. It relates heavily to today's society and its issues in people. Um, and I'll actually tell you guys a bit about me, a bit more, and I'll give you guys my perspective on why it's important and why we must or like why we must like, what's the word I'm looking for? Damn it. Why we must implement this new, I don't want to call it strategy, but like this new way of, well, it's not really new, it's always existed, but like this way of thinking. We should implement this in our day-to-day lives. It's kind of like losing its way, and it's causing the problems in the world today because of it. So I truly believe that the lack of religion in today's society is one of the reasons why people are feeling the way they feel, and a lot of the problems in the world are happening. Now, some things are out of our control, yes, like some things, the corruption, the government, the corporations, those things are kind of out of our control. But the things that are in our control, in terms of communicating between one another, like for example, like the gender war, or like, toxic masculinity, toxic femininity, the whole, um, like just societal issues and dynamics, and like materialism, degeneracy, um, people's vices, like gambling, drug addiction, alcoholism, all these things play a big effect, right? And a lot of it is because of a lack of faith, a lack of religion. Um, so before I tell you guys about me, this is what I think about religion as a whole. I think that when people are left to their own devices, like, if you have people, if let's say you take religion completely out of the picture, and let's say you just say like, okay, this is the world, these are the countries, these are the people, you guys rule, whatever, right? Things wouldn't really work out without religion, and here's why. Because we as people, we make our own decisions, we define life in our own terms. So life in our eyes, it's very subjective, right? I'm sure, like, people have asked themselves this question. I'm sure you guys watching, you've asked yourself this question. What is my purpose in life? What am I doing here? What is life? Like, I'm sure you guys have asked yourself this question. Now, to define, like, to answer that question, you can only answer it in two ways: the subjective way and the objective way. Now, I'll get to objective in a second. Subjective is when you use your own perspective and define it. So you could say, like, oh, chasing my dreams, my goals, my ambitions, the things I want to do in life, the career path I want to follow, or I want to become a basketball player, or I want to be uh, a soccer player, or I want to be a singer, I want to be an actor or actress, a musician, singer. These are all subjective. These are things that you want to do. And actually, like, when you don't follow religion, what happens is that it kind of gets out of hand. So you kind of become hedonistic. You kind of just only chase your own self pleasure and desires. And you kind of become like, you end up worshiping your own desires. Like, you just kind of, like, some people, all they care about is money. They don't care about anything else. They don't care about human connections or friendships or anything like that. All they care about is money. They'll live the rest of their lives chasing the bag, right? Grinding, business, this, that. So their religion is money, right? That's just one example. So we kind of get lost into this path, and that's our downfall, right? I'm not saying that you should not have any ambition or you should not do the things you want in life. Of course, like, you should. Like, you have to have an outlet. You have to have um, your time, like to kind of live, and see, like, what else this world has to offer, for sure. Like, you should do that, but I mean, you're forgetting the higher purpose, and you, like, if you look at people that have achieved success, they've got exactly the things they want in life. After a certain while, still become depressed. And we've seen, like, I can't use the word on YouTube here, but, like, we've seen celebrities, successful celebrities, delete themselves, right? We have seen it, um, they had money, they had the status, they had everything they ever wanted, and they still weren't happy. Why is that, right? So this is objective where the objective perspective comes into play. So what I'm trying to say is, basically, objective perspective is religion, aka God. Now, I'm just explaining in general terms. I'm not trying to go into, like, all the religions, because every religion is different, right? Some are polytheistic religions, others are monotheistic. So I'm not going to go into that, but I'm just saying in general, like, as a general rule of thumb, we should also follow the objective path as well. And we should be religious in general, because what happens is that the pressure is a lot less, and we're understanding that, okay, like, okay, a quick analogy. I'm sure you guys have worked a job before, right? So let's say you work for company X, you go in as a new employee. You can't have any subjective perspective there, because you can't just go in the company and start making your own rules and telling people, boss people around. You can't. You're given a manager, and they decide how you're going to work in this company. Or the CEO. The CEO decides for everyone how the company is going to be run, right? So technically speaking, like, the CEO is the god of the company, right? So God is the CEO of life, right? So God decides what goes, right? So that way, what happens is that, and I believe God is just, I believe God is right, I believe that he's given us a purpose in life, and he's made things just for everyone. And if we follow his way, we're going to feel good. We're not going to feel hopeless. We're going to be on the straight path, and we're going to be content. We're going to be happy. We're going to feel peaceful. And I'll get to that in a second. But when we follow his way, like, everything's going to be in order. We have all the rules laid out for us. And within those rules, within those confines, we also live our own life too. And I think that's the best way to live and be content in this world. Now, I'll kind of explain my process as to how I became more religious, and why it makes the most sense. So, here's a quick story time about me. So, when I started the channel, actually, I was I was agnostic. I grew up Muslim, but in my teenage years and like my early adulthood, I kind of lost my faith. I stopped praying. I didn't completely like give up on Islam, but um, I did not also pray or anything. So I kind of did actually give up on it, but like I didn't venture off into another religion. Well, actually, not that's technically not fully true because I kind of low key um, thought of becoming Christian at one point, but after doing my research, which I'm still studying right now, my Bible's right here, and I don't believe Christianity is the truth. I'm sorry for all the Christian viewers. I'll make a video on it soon. I'm gonna be making some new videos in the channel with a bit more religious topics involved. I think it's a lot of fun. I love theology now. All of a sudden, these last 6 months, I've been getting into theology a lot and comparing and studying the Abrahamic faith quite a bit. So it's been very interesting. But anyways, like I had kind of walked away from Islam for a long time up until like the last 6 months. I started getting more and more religious. I was like, okay, no, I was born Muslim. Let me do my research, look into Islam more, compare it with the other faiths. And when I started doing that, and I actually met a friend who's also Muslim, he was practicing it more. We started talking and it made sense. We were going through a lot of dark times together. He had his issues, I had mine. We were sharing our stories, and it just like, I was really hopeless, guys. I became really hopeless. I made videos on the channel talking about um like the shit that's happening because I also live in the West and I see it, and it was affecting me, my mental health a lot. And um I was like, I don't know what else to turn to. So I started to slowly turn to God. I looked into Islam and made more sense. And then now I fully believe, I believe personally that Islam is the truth, and I'm a proud Muslim, and I'll make videos on as to why. I think it's important to share. But before, sorry, just to get to the main part of my explanation here, um, turning to God um, just made sense because I believe that like we're not just here randomly. I believe there has to be something out there. Like I was already agnostic. I always believe I was never atheist. I never believed in that. I always believed there was something out there. Too much makes sense in this world. Everything like the way it's designed and stuff. There had to be something out there, right? So I turned to Islam. I looked into it, did my research. It made sense. Um, my belief, my faith increased, and then I started praying and praying more. I started calling to God, asking for help, asking Him to guide me. And the thing about Islam is that, like, or the religion as a whole, is that it teaches you to be more pious, to give back to the world, to be good to one another, and to just like not chase your own desires, not go into hedonism. And the main purpose of life, is to recognize that there is a creator, the God, the one and only God, to worship Him alone, and the rest will take care of itself. Like you, if there's anything you want in life, you go to Him, you ask Him, and He will give you. You know, um, so then it started making sense. I started understanding what life really is. We're here. Here's the thing: on the day of judgment, your university degree, how much money you made, how many chicks you banged, none of that will matter. All that matters in God's eyes is what you did and did you pray to Him or not, right? So, like, He's gonna look at you and ask you those kind of questions, like what you did in the world. Did you do good deeds? Did you pray? Did you believe in him? And he's gonna base things off of that and then decide whether whether you go to heaven or hell. Um, so that's what Islam is in a nutshell, right? Um, but so when I understood that that is the main like purpose of life, I'm like, okay, makes sense. And when you look around you, kind of like life by design makes sense that it's a test. We're all being tested right now to see like, uh, are we being faithful to God? Are we deviating from the path? Are we being degenerates? Are we misbehaving? Are we like, and even if we get off the path, God gives us a fresh new day to come back again to Him, right? This is why God talks about repentance a lot in our religion, and it's been mentioned many times that He's the most merciful, He's the most gracious, and not to lose faith in His mercy. So all these things started making sense to me, and I was like, yeah, like, why wasn't I religious before? This makes sense. I didn't create myself. I did not create the universe. I had no knowledge of any of these things. I was just born into this world. So I was asking myself all the time when I was feeling hopeless. I was just like, why am I here? What is my purpose? Why am I here? So then it just made sense. And here I am, right? I don't gamble. I don't do anything degenerate. I don't drink alcohol anymore. I don't eat haram food. I stopped that as well. I've changed my ways and I'm feeling contentment and hopeful for the first time in a while. And it's been great. And I think with people in general in today's society, the lack of religion or the lack of faith is one of the reasons why people are acting the way they do, acting the way they are. You know, dishonesty, not modest. Uh, like in dating, it's like ghosting. Just everyone's just like a number. Everyone's just another profile. You just swipe left, right, whatever. Oh, bang her, bang him, and that's it. Like move on, like nothing happened. Another one, give me another one. Like everyone's just like a tool, like an object. Feelings don't matter. Uh, like we're just and we're just chasing our own pleasures, our own desires, right? So that's wrong, right? Um, it's all become subjective. So religion keeps us on the straight path. It teaches us to be humble. It teaches us to um, be content and not to give into these tests of life. And I'll make another video on like doing a deeper dive into religion, like into Islam, of why it makes sense to me the most out of all the other religions. But yeah, like I truly think that if people, just even in general, if they became more religious, we would behave a lot better towards one another and we would feel more hopeful, optimistic in one another. I think community is really important. I think human beings are social creatures. We should not be distant. We should be together, both men and women. We're both in this world together. We both have our purpose. We need to coexist. We should not be having this gender war. We should be nicer towards one another. This is for both men and women watching. Be good to one another, and just be honest with one another. I'm going to be making some videos on dating too. I've had some big epiphanies, some big lessons learned, and I'm going to give you guys some counter like advice that you hear from other dating coaches is bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. Don't listen to them. Forget everything you learn from dating coaches. I'm going to give you guys some of the best advice you'll ever hear. And it's very simple, straightforward. Any guy can do it. And you're going to get results. Trust me. It's not going to be like the type where you just use it and then you're going to just bang chicks left and right. It's not about that. It's about the right it's being on the right path and relationships that are going to be good for you for the long term. that's all I want to focus on. This channel is all about that. This channel isn't about degeneracy. So yeah. Anyways, I actually got to end the video now because it's kind of hitting the time mark on my phone. Um, I gotta delete some folders on my phone and shit. It's taking up a lot of space, but I gotta go. It's almost done. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.